your girl, Lady Merc in the house. And we got a very special, incredible artist, author. Yo,
everything.
Miss Diana. Say what's up
Thank
to
you.
the people right
What's up,
now.
y'all? How y'all feeling? Peace and blessings, family.
Gang, gang.
Thank you.
Okay. Yo, I love your energy. Your
Thank
hair
you.
is flawless.
Yes, gotta bring out the
shine.
light.
Okay.
I see
Smash
you.
back and it's lit. Read the hat.
New
All
York,
right.
all
So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and supporting me, supporting everybody. It's just a whole movement right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Truth, first of all, because I love you, Truth. Just have to just shout that out because a lot of my guests be from your production, straight up.
Yep.
So I appreciate
Baltimore's best.
keep doing what you're doing. That's exactly why I pulled her and make sure she got in the house. Want to do a spotlight on everybody. You feel me?
Thank
All right, we're gonna do a little something, extra because it's Virgo season in the building.
Okay.
It's Virgo season. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. It's just emotional time right now. All right, cool. So, first of all, do you know any Virgos that you want to give a shout out to? Any birthdays before we get to me?
Honestly, like I said, my mom passed away, but always shout out to her.
Rest in peace.
Her birthday was August 28th. I gave her this promotional kind of motivational video on Facebook. Shouting out with my siblings because of my mom. I learned a lot from her. Strength and all of that good stuff.
Shout out to your mom.
And then my best friend Denise Mitchell. I hope you watching from Brooklyn, New York. She's
Brooklyn.
A Virgo.
Okay.
Yeah, all day. Had to
Brooklyn
had
in
to
the
support.
building right
Had
now.
to support. So so those are my two favorite Virgos. If there's any other Virgos that rock with me, forgive me.
It's okay, because I'm one. So Virgos is in the building. It's official on my Facebook tip, though. Thank you, Diamond. Tizzy Holder and David Lee. Happy birthday. Today is your day. Make sure you rock out with your cock out and celebrate. My birthday celebration is tonight.
Yes.
Speaking of, okay, we going all the way in for Night Bait Reloaded at Euphoria. It's gonna be a whole outside venue type of spill. Mad biddies everywhere, everywhere, yo. You didn't go to one last time. Don't miss this time. Straight up. It's free before 11. It's open bar. Before 9. Excuse me. It's free before 9 and open bars. So MC Bam Bam going to go through. DJ Gush. Shout out to you. Shout out to In My Lane and Dreamer Entertainment. Okay. Shout out. Thank you for giving me my section and my bar. We appreciate you.
Getting lit early.
Getting lit early, okay? So, this whole show is dedicated, like I said, I asked you to be on the show for a reason because the universe never lies, all right? And people just in your life for a certain reason. You have a whole book I want to give a shout out real quick called I Survive.
Thank you.
So, I already knew from Jump Street you was just deep. You know what I'm saying? You were already woke and conscious, and that's what we need.
That took time. That took years.
Let's talk about it.
Honestly, being woke, to me, now being woke is like a trending thing, right?
Everybody trying to be woke. You ain't woke.
But I feel like you ain't woke for real if you don't know who you are inside of yourself. So I had to pull away from a lot of people and learn what Diana think and what Diana wants and what Diana needs, rather than trying to fit in a crowd that Diana don't fit in.
Right.
And then when I started really seeing all my thoughts and feelings, I'm oh, you don't really like this for real. Oh, you're not even about this life for real. Who are you?
Yeah, facts.
I had to fall back, and it took years of unlearning some things and relearning myself.
Yeah.
So that's how it became. And honestly, it took moving to Baltimore.
Wow.
For real.
So where you
so crazy.
From?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Okay, so that's why your best friend. Okay, I got it. It's a connection thing. I got it. I'm here.
Yeah.
So shout out to you for just becoming woke, and we do have to kind of relearn. Even when we get taught things in school, and we actually know that it's a whole extra background history that we don't even know about. We just get taught what we told. Yeah, we just believe it.
Just starting about us. It's a whole history about us that we don't know about as black people, as the black community.
And trust and believe. Everybody, every other culture knows.
Yeah, seriously, yes. It can be misguided because you're taught to learn the standard thing and how you fit per race, per age, per, if you're man or black in society. When you come out of that and start really acknowledging just bringing your awareness to like beyond what you've been
Right.
taught,
Right.
you start realizing like, yo, none of this stuff. Let me get out this box real quick.
Exactly.
Like, create a whole new lane.
Exactly.
Everything I learned is wrong.
Exactly. Like you've been lied to your whole life.
Seriously.
It's like finding out you was adopted.
Seriously, yo.
That's exactly
You're like, no, but
how I
you family,
feel.
So you could have told me. You could have
Couldn't
told
tell me that
true.
you wasn't my mom. All right, cool. You love me, right? I
Right.
think
You
so.
still
I
love
don't
me?
know.
All right, man.
So today's topic is like definitely comment on your live. Make sure you tune in. Shout out everybody on our lives. We're gonna talk about conscious mind versus subconscious mind. And I want to talk about unconscious mind as well, because they all go hand in hand with levels to this shit. Okay. And I want to talk about it because it's a social issue and it affects our personality, our behavior towards others, and ourselves. Sometimes we don't even realize what consciousness we're in at the moment. So I want to talk about all of that and break it down to the T's, and that's why you're in the house with me. All right, cool, gang. So to you, what is the conscious mind? It's like, what is consciousness? How would you break it down?
Honestly, I don't think it needs to be brought down.
I think a lot of people are not conscious, though.
I think no, you're right. Now that's talking about unconscious, right? When we get there.
Good. You're right.
But like consciously, the reason why I say I don't think it be brought down because people use it in their sentences and they might not know what it means.
Okay.
Like, are you even conscious of you doing this, or what are you doing? You know, those kind of words, acts. Are you conscious of anything? And consciousness for me is it's not for me. It's the definition of it. It's just being aware of your current state. Whether it's emotions, whether it's feelings, whether it's sensations, whether it's any type of knowledge, like whatever you're feeling right now. Like, for example, my conscious, okay, I'm here, I'm at the radio show, I'm feeling the vibes, I'm feeling the energy. I know we're going to talk about that. I'm consciously aware of what's going on. My feelings, my sensation, that's just like the little piece of your whole brain, you know what I mean? That's just the main thing that you put in front of any situation you are currently.
Yeah, it's like definitely present in like you said, in your face. Any unique thoughts, feeling, emotions that you might have a part of your environment. Honestly, a lot of things from our childhood affects our conscious behaviors as well. And just have that awareness. And it's the key word that I think you guys need to take upon consciousness, because people don't even realize what they're doing when they're doing it. That's being subconscious, though.
And it's crazy. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Because as in a conscious state, right? For example, all right. So if you go to a job interview, consciously you know how to act, how to dress. You like, all right, I gotta sound like this.
Exactly.
I gotta be like this. I gotta make sure I get the job. So consciously you're aware of like, cool. In a relationship, when you want somebody, consciously you know what to say, how to act to get to them. It's another type of interview. You're more like, all right, this is how I feel right now. That's totally opposite from subconscious and unconscious. I think consciously you just like, you got to put, not a front, but you got to put on this thing now. You have to understand.
Yeah, wear your different hats. Because we got to, I think that's honestly sometimes necessary to get where we need to be.
It is.
You know
it
what I
is.
mean? Not saying
is.
you have
it's
to
like
be phony.
Another person pull out like, all right, I got this. Ego. I'm at the front end. What we need to do, how we need to act, how we need to feel. And so consciously it becomes like your thing right now at the moment.
Right. Yeah, so consciousness is like the aspect of your mental processing. You know what I'm saying? And you can think and talk about anything that's rational. So I think that's another key part,
too. It's funny. I think it's the end result of everything else. I think it's the end result. Because I think,
But you know what's funny about that? A lot of people try to have control about their end result and not having the faith.
Because they don't know where it begin from. It's like the end result. So if I say conscious is the end result, where does this conscious come from? Where did it derive from? And the more you pull layers of your subconscious mind, of your unconscious mind, you start realizing like, oh, this is why I'm like this right now because of everything. So that's why I think it's like.
And I think that's based off being your subconscious. So subconscious is the like anything that you can retrieve out of your memory. You like if somebody asks you what's your phone number right now, it's not in your conscious state of mind. You can retrieve it though in your subconscious and recall it. So it's like a recall memory. And you know how you ever been driving?
Yeah.
And you don't realize how you got home? Because you are so routine into your everyday life or to, which road to turn on that you are subconsciously driving. You are not consciously aware of like the road right now, but your subconscious mind takes over. It's records for you to know where to turn and where to go.
Yeah, I feel like with being subconscious is just it's like stored data, right? It's like a library, right? But it don't really pull out until I think when your conscious talks about it. So let's say subconsciously I feel a way about a topic. Okay. Consciously, I'm not going to talk about this topic. I'm not thinking about this topic. The moment someone bring up a topic, these feelings that are stored away, this information, this data, or my memories, or if it's pain or whatever it is that's stored away, will now submerge to my conscious mind. Right. So I think subconsciously you're just storing data because it's a fact. Did you know like 20 bits of information is stored in your subconscious mind, only 7 is stored in your conscious mind?
I did not know that.
It's crazy.
But that's his job.
Yeah.
It's to
just imagine you try to remember everything right now.
Exactly.
When I say anxiety, it's going to be like...
Exactly.
You can't.
But that's why we respond, like going back to the job interview example, that's why we respond. We're programmed to respond in certain aspects in the environment to do a certain result, to get a certain result. Right, you know what I mean? And that's our subconscious, though.
Yeah. I think our subconscious acts as a protective, though. Because, if you got information at this moment, my subconscious mind know you can't retain all of this information, even from, taking it back to the womb. Because I feel like that's when that is developed. From your mom or whoever's around the womb is giving you type of feelings, emotions, experiences that your subconscious mind is like, all right, we're going to give you some of this information, and the rest of the information I'm going to store it away. So when you get older, we're going to submerge that. We're going to talk about these things, and we're going to resurface that. But right now, you can't deal with all of that. So
exactly.
Let's protect
that. That's crazy, though. Cause like,
our mind is, it's a terrible thing to waste. Don't they say that? For real.
Because
it's powerful.
Some things are like too traumatized and too harmful for our mind to even accept and like break down, receive.
So your brain protects you.
And so it's like, but why can't I know? Like, why? So, who made you decide whether I can handle it or not? You know what I'm saying? In that sense.
Yeah.
So I think like that's the beauty of like the mind itself, but it's all involuntary actions that we do on a normal basis, like our heart beating when you go to sleep, but having that faith that you're going to wake up the next morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's our subconscious mind. You don't know constantly that you ain't going to take your last breath in your sleep. But we're a rat.
Consciously, you don't know that you're going to take your last, but, you know what I mean, if you are thinking about stuff like that, for example, like, I used to have a fear, and I hate having fears. I used to have a fear of being alone, period. So because of that, consciously, I made sure I was in relationships. Subconsciously, I had a fear of being alone, but I ain't like talking about it. Right. I ain't like feeling like it was a weak thing for me. Yeah. So I would just be like, let me suppress this real quick. I'll be in a relationship because I want to be family and love. But subconsciously, it was because I was afraid of being alone. So I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that. Thank you, love. I had to deal with that to talk about, it's okay to be alone and to know yourself while you're being alone. Once I realized that, it was like there was no more subconscious feeling of fearing that. Because I actually had to deal with being alone. I had to make myself sit with myself and be like, it's okay to be by yourself. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. So consciously powerful. Now, I'm okay with it. You know? So,
that's definitely powerful to even get to that point because a lot of people don't even have that self-worth and value.
Yo, come on.
You know what I mean?
You about to open up a can of... Come on. Let's stick to the... Let's not get too deep. We're going to lose some people.
You hit the house. You hear me?
Yes,
so let's break down unconscious, right? Oh. And a lot of people go straight to the physical aspect, like you knocked out. But it's more deeper than that. Shorty.
Let me say an example. When you too lit, and like if you drink or smoke, and you like, yo, I didn't even know I did that last night. How did I get home last night?
That's definitely me.
You literally, get into this moment of like, I feel like your conscious and your subconscious mind becomes numb. So your unconscious mind appears like, all right, we're going to just do this real quick and get you where you need to go safely. Mm-hmm. Another reason when I used to have this anger issue like real bad when I was younger. And you ever heard the saying when people get mad, they be like, yo, I see red. Yeah. That's that unconscious blackout type of feeling. Like I'm so angry when red comes in my eyes, I don't see nobody. I don't see family. I don't see the care of if I hurt anybody, I just go. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people can relate to that with it's anger, sadness, whatever it is that's unpleasant. When you get into that unconscious mind, you just don't care. You don't know what your body is up to. Nothing matters. No logic thinking. You just literally black out while up. You know, that's some
That's
scary
scary.
stuff. Yeah,
That
yeah,
is scary.
yeah. That happened to me before, you know. So I had to check myself, like, hey, yo, you get your emotions in check, yo. This is
real.
crazy.
For real, because we have these like judgment we have on people or our actions and behavior that we do are influenced by our like drugs or any social, you know, acceptance that we trying to get, that void that we trying to fill, and it enables our decisions and making the right choices. And I think that's the problem. And we go into that unconscious state. And a lot of, like I said before, our past experience is stored in our unconscious mind. So when we like react, we going back to
I'm being like your unconscious mind. This is what happens. Your unconscious mind store a lot of information. I'm talking about past memories, past trauma experiences, past pains, past a lot of past stuff. That's why sometimes people in the shower, that's the most time they think. Or in the car conversation is like the best, because that's when things start submerging. You're not trying to force this or to stop or to not have, you know, control of it. You're just letting it flow. So your unconscious is where we create our habits at, where we create our beliefs at, where we create our behavior patterns at. And what happens is our subconscious store, it talks to the unconscious mind, like, all right, this is why they believe this. This is why their environment had they, you know, personality come from. This is where this derived from. But subconsciously, we're going to take a chunk out of that unconscious mind and give the conscious mind a little bit, piece by piece. Because when they grow up, they're going to face these kind of conversation and face these kind of topic. And then they're going to find out who they really are when they by themselves.
Exactly. And it's like, deep. You got to accept who you really are.
Oh, yeah. But people, they don't know that until they remove themselves from the trending topics, from the trending conversation, from the trending relationships. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I got to rock with these kind of people and I got to be in this kind of wave. You don't. When you fall back and see what you like, create a whole nother lane. And then you realize, oh, I'm really different. That's a good thing. I really got some emotional issues. That's a good thing. You're bringing awareness. And the more aware you are becoming, the more you starting to see, like, oh, I can't listen to this music. I can't act this behavior. I can't do this. The more you
become conscious.
You start really being aware of a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And I honestly want to make sure everyone know, like, this affects your personality, but also your ego.
Oh yeah.
So that's the core of this. This is speak about your identity,
the pride,
and the super ego.
So
this all like
ties in.
Exactly. So and I think that's why I wanted to bring it to the talk show, because we are these beings, like, and we don't know how we are affecting other people. People don't even know the difference. So I'm gonna break it down to y'all, like, piece by piece. So like, far as the unconscious mind, it like we said, it holds significant and disrupting materials that our consciousness cannot take or keep in our like frontful, because it's too damaging. Some things is just too harmful to take in. But the process that we store is repression and depression, and that forms into a lot of people don't even know they're aware of that sickness. That's a whole disease.
That's even deep in itself.
Exactly, because we don't know like what traumatized us until it kind of relapses again in our life in a different form. Triggers, exactly. So I think that's the whole like message I want to get out to y'all, to recognize. And we sometimes have these defense mechanisms.
And I'm glad you said that, because like so we about to be in September, right?
Yeah, couple days.
People don't know, like, October, November, December, there's an acronym, SAD, and it's seasonal affective disorder. And it's specifically for depression. People that are going through depression, if you're overly stressed, that's where the holidays are back to back. That's where money goes south. That's when all this like sadness start happening, right? So what happens is, when you don't know what depression comes from, I feel like depression, stress, anxiety, those are the words that a conscious mind is aware of. Your subconscious mind is the emotions and the recent memories that attach to it. That's the triggering conversation, triggering topic. And your unconscious mind is where it derived from. When you're growing up, what happened in your childhood. There are some people that can't even remember what happened like a certain age and before.
Yeah.
Because it's been so traumatic that their mind had to protect itself.
Wow.
So it's real scary. Even therapy do things like that to bring up memories you never know you had in the back of your mind. Just so you can deal with it, because it carries with you in relationships, in all types of relationships. So yeah, it's definitely deep. It's definitely deep. So the more you're aware, and I'll say start now, the more you start becoming aware of why you're depressed. And it's not just, because I'm going through this and this is a generational thing. No. Really dive in and peel some layers back. Sit with yourself. Talk to yourself. Give yourself some topics. Put yourself around people that know about these things, so you can start unraveling who you are and then deal with it before, October, November, December gets here, because that's when it's tough.
It's around the corner.
Yeah.
Like literally fall season's
That's
hot girl summer is over.
It's over.
All right.
It gets real little depressing after that.
It's about to be cuffing season if you're cuffing, all right? But I just want people to like be educated and know what the difference. The main difference between having a conscious mind and subconscious minds is the state of being aware. That's the biggest key, is the state of having that awareness, and you often decide what you want to store. It's a choice what get passed and what you keep. And once I don't know if we could have some type of sense of control of it, because it's in our mind, but we should at least have that consciousness of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like so starting off, I feel like people generally don't do the choice and decisions on, okay, I want this in my conscious mind, I want this in my subconscious mind.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah,
I think it's all about how aware you are. So if I'm having a conversation and, like I said, and there's a decision to either partake, right then and there, I'm going to say, do I want to partake in this conversation? Now you're giving yourself that control of, do I want this in the back of my mind after I leave you? If I don't, let me not partake in this activity and move forward.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's what causes how much you want to be aware to what and what you want to open your spirit to.
Yeah.
So
because energy is powerful.
Man, listen.
What you can walk into.
Listen. You can walk in and don't even know you walked out with like 10 energies on you.
Yeah, exactly. Demons and everything.
So you definitely you are touching topics today.
No, for real, because your subconscious is like a mental activity that like always just playing all day trying to figure out what is important, what needs to be changed, any constant procedures that need to be done, whereas your conscious mind is like abstract. Yeah. It's like literally thinking and giving the commands to the subconscious mind.
It's like the captain of the ship.
Exactly.
Your conscious mind is like, this is what I say, this is what I do, while your subconscious mind is like the crew.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, we working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the real meat of it.
Specific commands. Like, that's in communications
throughout
this whole process.
Yep.
So, like, that's the big, like, difference. But as soon as you get... And the reason why I'm talking about subconscious a lot, because I think we live throughout our subconscious more than our conscious.
Yep, we do.
Because we prive off like whatever emotions we don't want to like lash out or don't want to show because of our preference. But
I feel like when you limit yourself to not being aware more of what your subconscious mind is thinking, you are becoming robotic in the conscious mind. And the reason why I say that is because, all right, cool, I'm supposed to act like you go on social media. There's like a specific look, a specific behavior. You can't be different, right? Because subconsciously you're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of like, if I be this different color out of all the other same colors, people might look at me and for some reason there's some deep stuff in there that's talking about all right, some deep stuff that's down in here that's like, why do you feel that you're afraid of judgment? Why do you feel like if you are different or you act different or dress different or just have a different perception on different topics, why do you feel that you talking this way might be looked at something negativity? So subconscious, you just stuff things down, and it's because unconsciously you've been through some things and you're not aware of it. So yeah, consciously you're like, this is how I am. Like, all right, cool. I'm here. I'm aware of things. You go back home. People like to cry to themselves, by themselves, without telling people. That's a
like
subconscious behavior.
It's a battle within
That's a
yourself,
subconscious behavior.
Like, I'm definitely guilty of it. Like, I battle with myself
I've done
all
it, you
the
know?
time,
Yeah.
especially with my career and my entrepreneurship. Like,
that's a roller coaster
you know what
in
I'm saying?
itself.
Exactly. Like, questioning yourself, making sure you're worth, like, doubting yourself, you know what I'm saying? Trying to just build off of the strength of just your belief and your faith, like, and just like constantly what you're doing, but subconsciously you ain't doing shit. So
and I feel like you can't move at all until you start dealing with stuff subconsciously. Like these people that look success makes look easy. Like, oh, I got this car, this money, and then subconsciously they're horribly miserable. Like it's like no, but in front of the camera, oh, I'm good. You know, I look all right. Hell no. You know what I mean? Like the more, just be aware of who you are, stand in your truth, and live your truth subconsciously, so that your conscious mind is real all the time. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, and the trick is like, I guess I should say the contradictory of it is that because you feel like you aware of how you moving at the moment.
At the moment,
but that's not your conscious.
That's not. You're not even scratching the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not even scratching the surface.
That's not what your consciousness moving. That's your subconscious.
Yep. The way you moving is predictive about everything in front of you.
Even though the conscious is supposed to be the captain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, who really does the work? The cruise ship.
Facts.
The captain just got in charge of giving commands. Yeah. So we know how to speak a certain way, how to be. But you know what I mean? The cruise ship is really subconscious and your unconscious, like, yo, where they at? What they doing? Why they not in the forefront? Because the moment just imagine going to ship and you tell the cruise ship, oh, you're captain now. Yeah. What's the job of the captain? It's not going to work. So everybody has a job, and the conscious mind needs to be there to deal with right now situations where your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind needs to be like, all right, we gotta figure some things out so the conscious mind can be greater. Right. So I think that's just they have to work.
And even though they're different. Also, being subconscious and unconscious are used interchangeably. Like, a lot of people kind of get them confused and mixed up because it's using some of the same content depending on how you use it. Man. But they're still two completely different levels.
Let me tell you what's the difference. All right. Consciously, you're aware. The way you act right now, at the present moment, you're aware. Subconsciously is just information stored. That's feelings, recent, whatever you felt before being aware at that moment. That's what it is. Right. Unconscious is when you're doing something that you're not aware of. Like getting too lit and you forget how you get home. Right. Or getting upset and consciously you're arguing with somebody. You even know that you even came out that strong, miscommunicating, you felt like you was good, and it's like you did come out strong, or whatever case may be. Anything that's negative and unpleasant that you're doing is unconsciously, and you're not aware of it. That's just it. All in all, for real.
You broke it down to the T. So let me ask you this: how does a conscious mind influence the subconscious mind? So if we want to take this control and living a better life because we trying to have more.
Right.
At some point we got to do better, right?
Yeah.
So how can the conscious mind influence the subconscious to be greater?
I feel like any information you're taking at that moment, you have to have awareness of what's about to be stored in the back of your mind. Know that every information at that moment, a piece of that is going in the back of your mind. That's why sometimes people have dreams about certain things. You're like, yo, I was hoping you say crazy. That. X, Y, Z. It's because your subconscious mind is living. It's always moving. Even if you're conscious, your subconscious mind at that moment is like me talking right now. I'm going to go home. It's going to relive the conversation. It's going to relive how I felt, my experiences, everything. I might go to sleep and be like, yo, I dreamed about Lady Merck, man. You was on a radio show. You know what I mean? You just never know. Yeah, so you have to be, the more the conscious mind influence it to be greater, the way you do it is have conscious decisions. Make conscious decisions, because right then and there, you're going to allow your subconscious, like, all right, I may not control all 100,000s of you, but what I can do is make good decisions moving forward. So each decision I know is in the back of my mind.
Right. So, based on what you're saying, what decision makes it the right decision? You know what I'm saying? Because constantly, if you feel like, if you been put in a situation where you feel like, all right, it's a lose-lose, right? Because some situations
right then and there, that's the
lose-lose.
I'm listen.
So what makes that decision consciously right?
I'm about to debate with you just a little bit. So
go ahead.
There's never a lose-lose conversation. I'm gonna act a situation. Never. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Let's go.
You know how they ask you in therapy or just in class or whatever, they say when they fill a cup, right?
It's either half empty or half full.
What would you say?
I would say half full.
Why?
Because it's full of life. It's only half full. Because y'all can pour some more.
Because they taught us that was supposed to be a positive thing. If you look at half full, if you say half empty, you would say it's negative. But this is a kicker.
Okay.
You can't say half full without looking at the half empty. Which means you can't have the positive without the negative, and that's in life. So whenever you think it's a lose-and-lose situation, you just haven't found a solution yet. So if it's a lose-and-lose situation, that means there's a what? A positive situation. That means if I'm like, yo, I'm going to lose either way. How? I'm going to need you to challenge your conscious mind or bring up your subconscious mind like, nah, be prepared for this. Your subconscious mind's going to come out like, we got the armor on. All right, what you need is to do. Because when the back against the wall, you find a way no matter what. That means your subconscious mind is ready. So you can't look at just one way. You have to know you can't live one without the other. It's never a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want to like make sure you have all your plan B's, disease.
Even if you don't even have it, there's one. There's one out there where you don't, you know what I mean, have. Because sometimes you be like, oh, I'm out of options. No, you only did something that's consciously, that you're consciously thinking about. How about you go to the file cabinets in the back of your mind, figure out what kind of friends you around, make an ask questions. You know what I'm saying? It's for real. Like, you use the people around you, put yourself in situations, ask questions, ask for help, bring your pride and ego down, and I promise you a solution will come through. Like, thank you, universe. You're for real.
Yo, we definitely do not ask enough questions.
Yo, at all, because we're afraid. We're afraid to look weak.
Thank you.
Of the truth, and that's just your subconscious mind, period. You have to stand in your truth. You have to tell your truth. Do you know that people are afraid to be honest because of a lot of other stuff? They're afraid of the unknown and the negative spectrum. That's just gonna mess up.
That's the unknown.
You know what I'm saying?
This is my thing. Like, and I'm getting off topic a little bit. I'm not afraid to die. Like, I know my life has an end date. Everybody has a date at the end of the name because the word was already prophesied. Things that's already happened was supposed to happen. Things that's going to happen is already.
Whether it's the universe or whatever you believe in, it's happening. Okay, it's already happening.
Thank you. So I'm cool with dying, but that's why I'm making sure I'm on this platform. That's why I'm making sure I'm making networks. That's why I'm gonna use my voice, use my power,
come on,
impact.
Sis.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So if I'm not afraid to die, I'm afraid of being forgotten of what I'm teaching, what I'm like trying to promote. You know what I'm saying? So that's
put a footprint in there so people can follow through. Yeah,
and actually carry the message.
Come on, that's just a part. You don't even know that's one of the. It's like 10 ways to raise your conscious mind. But that's one of the part. Learning to not be afraid of dying. That's one of the parts to raise your conscious mind. So you just like, you moving up there.
You so deep.
I told you it took years. It took years because I was a stubborn kind of person, okay?
Trying to tell you. And a lot of people don't understand like how our behaviors, right? And then we're going to get in somebody's ass, all right? So go ahead and get personal, all right? So our behavior reflects and projects on others, towards others, based on our level of consciousness.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's majority of our unconscious and subconscious, which, like I said, could be very interchangeable. But I really want us to work on it.
It's hard because it takes a few conscious people to help the unconscious ones. Okay. And the reason why I say it is because our expectation, we expect people to be more conscious of what they're doing. But if they've been doing it for so long, they think that's their thing. You can't, if they project their fears on you, you might know that. Like, you projecting your emotions and your opinions on me. I don't need none of that bad energy on there. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm good. They don't even know the difference of what's bad and good because everything is just normalized. You know, stress is normalized. Depression is normalized. So what I'm doing to you, I don't even know I'm passing down my projections on you. I'm just thinking I'm just talking and being me.
Yeah.
So you have to be. We have to teach and things like this platform and having conversations, making it normal to have these conversations would get them to look at themselves. For
Absolutely. Like, what's one behavior personally that you have done or
experienced? Man, listen. All right, it took some years to make this person I see every day to be all right. I used to be, let me tell you, I was so narrow-minded. I'm going to go about me personally and somebody else personally. So I been so narrow-minded like for so many years when I was young. And I'm talking about not younger like teen. I'm talking about 20, 21, 22. Like I'm 32. So it's been like I'm just now approaching the good stuff. So I've been narrowed like I would get like if I'm a fear of, because I went through so many traumatic stuff. My fear was of losing stuff. My fear of being in a domestic violent relationship. I will put that on people Like, if somebody put their phone down, something simple. Somebody put their phone down, like, oh, you gonna lose that. They're like, no, I'm good. I know what it. But I would think, like, they're gonna lose that. They're gonna forget that. Like, for some reason. Yeah. And I'm like, put this in your pocket because you're gonna lose it. Like, you don't even know their life and their way of thinking, but yet you're projecting. Or domestic violence. Like, because I've been through a lot of domestic violence relationships, if someone's having an issue and I'm trying to give them advice, it would be so personable. Like, I'll put myself in their shoes like, they person do that, leave them. Rather than talk about it. Right. See, there's other issues. See why this person is doing that. It was just leave them. You don't need that because I experienced it. So I'm thinking I know it all. So I'm going to project this, what I've been through on you. Mm-hmm. And they probably can handle it better than me. Yeah. How I did it. So that's how I used to do it. Now I shut the hell up and listen more. I listen more because people would tell on themselves how they think and how they act. If you just shut up, give somebody 5 minutes of a conversation, and you were like, "Oh, all right." But now, personally, it's been my friends. Shout out to my baby father, love you, but my baby father. It's been. It's just been a lot of relationships. The current relationship we're so honest with each other. Like, we done project stuff on each other, not knowing we was doing that.
Exactly.
Insecurities, like
more harm though, right?
Miscommunication, more harm. And it's like, I have to sit back and be like, yo, I can't blame this person how they react or how they communicate with me or how they feel or think if I don't know how to be open-minded. If I'm more like, I'm right and I do this and it's my experience, I would never understand you. Yeah. So I had to fall back, like, let me figure out what Diana, can I really be open-minded to a lot of things? Yeah. What would I like and not like? And then I present that, and then the person would go yay or nay. If they don't get me, they're not for me.
Yeah, I definitely am guilty to that. I had like a whole phase where I was like, this is me, this is how I am. Yep. You can't accept who I am. You can't accept me. And I can't change the way I am because this is
me against the world.
Been the way you
I'm always be like this.
Yeah, like,
it's real. It's real, man. It's so real.
I'm laughing now, but I was dead ass serious, yo. And I was like, didn't realize that I was even in that state of like just saying like
it's a defense mechanism, you know? Like I gotta save myself from everybody. Everybody's a threat.
Exactly. Like we feel like disrespected. We feel like we're not being heard. We feel like our toes being stepped on. Our ego is being tripped.
You trying to play me? You trying me?
Listen to me. I want to be understood.
Yep. Come on, man. And then we grew up.
It literally took me to be outside of the relationship to look in the relationship. We can never see the issues while we're in the mess. We always got to clean up the mess to look up the results. Like, damn.
It took me to be by myself. Like, yo, you by yourself, girl.
Damn, Shorty, I really did that.
What you about to do now?
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go into who up next a little bit. I got one more thing to say about this topic. We're going to close it out. How can we be aware, right, of what level of consciousness that we are currently in? I mentioned it a few times in the show, but we ain't never discussed it. So in your opinion, how can we be like just know, like, all right, I want to be consciously, or I'm using my subconscious action because I'm projecting that certain way, or I'm just not aware at all.
So honestly, it's not like an overnight. If I give you the instructions, boom, you can try it tomorrow. This is what you really have to do. Take your pens out. This is what you really have to do. So before anything, you have to understand what the left and right mind does. So, the left side is more logic, is more like analytical, and the right side is more creative, right? So you have to understand that first and furthermore. The second thing you have to do is going to sound crazy, okay? You got to be one with nature. Let me don't judge me. Yeah, let me tell you why. Because when you're stressed, people like to take a walk. People like to drive. People like to be by water. People like to have that serene with the trees. It's because the things around you, those natural, the nature itself, it calms you down because they give off that balance naturally. Pine trees, for example, Erykah Badu said on her Instagram page, she had a video clip, that the whole Christmas thing when you keep your tree and the pine trees immediately give out like that balanced, self-cleansing, self-censored feeling. Native Americans even practiced it in the 1800s. I'm not sure if I knew that, but they would put pine tree branches on pillows to stop nightmares. Or they would use it as a healing mechanism to kind of like release yourself. So get one with nature. Like start surrounding yourself with a lot of water, bodies of water especially, around trees. Just have moments with yourself and self-censor yourself. Be open-minded. Even if you have a conversation that make you feel just negative about it, just kind of relax your thoughts and just be open-minded. See on the other side, because then you start expanding your conscious mind. Track your thoughts. I just told Queen today to smile often. She said it was kind of tough to do that. I said, look at yourself in the mirror for 21 days and smile, even on your worst days, and track down how you feel in your thoughts. I said, I promise you, you'll start seeing a difference from day 1 to day 21, because you have to be more aware of how you feel. Also, be conscious of every decision you make. Every decision you make determines your future. So if you're in a messed up situation right now, how many small decisions you messed up on?
Right.
The life is going to recycle. The moment you messed up, guess what? Next year, you're going to be the same spot. You mess up again, next year, you're going to be the same spot. And then you're going to be blaming everybody but yourself. I keep going through this. Why I keep going through this? You're missing something. You thought you checked off everything. No, you're missing something. Go back to yourself. Go back, reground yourself, recenter yourself, and see what was my thoughts when I said yes to that, no to this. Yes to that, no to this. Start being aware. The last thing I'll say, just honestly surround yourself with people that vibrate like you, or that can teach you how to have a higher intelligence on your conscious mind. Because we're surrounded by the same people that do the same thing, right? It's cool to get lit. It's cool to be here and circle around the same amount of friends, but your mind ain't growing. Yeah. Where's your conscience going? Yeah. How can you recharge yourself over and over? You can't. So you got to step out of that, learn some new things that's going to be good with yourself. So when you do that, then you know the difference between what I'm doing consciously, subconsciously, and my unconscious mind. You don't follow those steps, you will forever trying to get some instructive recipe on the difference of the three. It's not going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking up Google.
Yeah, like how to do this. We can't help you. Yeah, what are you doing?
No,
you search your insides.
On the nose, like I definitely
for
gonna
real.
post a whole minute on my Instagram, like how to
step 1.
Yeah, no, cause that's like real rap. You gotta like read more, and like I said, like be around like-minded people and just
track your thoughts. Ain't nobody gonna tell you how you think but yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
And stop doubting yourself.
For real.
You gotta have that self-confidence.
Know that you're purposeful. And that you're awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know that they're purposeful. They're trying to find their purpose in education and purpose in other people's purpose. Like, it just doesn't work like that. Like, you have to find your own purpose. And the way you do that, figure out some shit. Figure out what you like.
Try new things.
Date yourself. You know what I'm saying? Experience yourself, for real. It takes years, months. So, man, it took years for me. Yeah, don't rush it. Don't rush it.
And you needed to go whatever you went through to get to it.
Seriously, people don't, and it's bad because when you say it out loud, it sounds messed up. But you honestly, I saw a video, I forgot the guy's name, but he said, when you go through so many things, that's your biggest acceptance speech. And when I say acceptance speech, that means you finally accept why you had to go through all of this stuff, because it's not really, it's like for you, but not. It's for the people that wasn't strong enough to hear this story. So if you've been molested, if you've been robbed, if you've been into drugs, anything that's like, yo, I've been through so much pain. People like, I'm tired of going through things that's not gonna break me. Like, I'm just over it. Guess what? The universe not, because you're still in that mindset. You still need to grow. And there's a story that somebody else behind you that's on their last string that needs to hear this. So you're the one that got picked. Yeah. So keep going, keep moving. Yeah. Don't give up, for real.
Thank you, Diana.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're gonna get into Who Up Next, which is all about you. All right, and we just appreciate you once again in the House Talk Show for coming through. I want to get into your whole background about how did you begin to start writing, and when did you even begin to start writing? Because you have books out now.
Please, I Survive. It's on Barnes and Noble. Please look up on Barnes and Noble. Oh, get it from me. I'll come to you. You know what I mean? Just $5 extra for the driving fee. But it's $15. It's dope because it's not a regular book where you just read my life. I have traumatic experiences in there since the age of 5, coming from Brooklyn, New York. And it talks about these traumatic experiences, but there's blank pages. That's the most important part for me. There's blank pages where I ask you questions so that you can release your story with me. So when you're done with the story, it's not like, oh, Diana been through stuff. It's like, oh, no, Diana and me. and I've been through some things. So when you want to start a book,
That's
you
important.
can't say, I don't know how to start. You already started a few pages in my book.
Hey.
So that's, we gonna heal together. That's just what it's about for real.
Yo, so shout out for you
Thank you.
writing the book.
Yeah.
Because that's like a whole goal in itself.
Yeah.
Big.
It was hard. I cried a lot. I was
Yeah.
like, bump that book. No, I need to finish
Nah,
writing it.
gotta
Let me finish
finish.
writing that book.
Finish strong.
Yeah,
So how
yeah,
long
yeah.
you been writing? Like, how old were you?
I started writing at 12.
Wow.
Because my family growing up, we didn't talking about things. So I was just
And that's
write.
a black culture problem.
I hate it.
So
Sweep
that's
it under the cup. That's just horrible.
That's a whole nother topic.
Horrible.
We won't get into
But
it.
yeah, so I started writing at 12, and I would write how I feel and then hide it under my bed or under a cushion. You know what I mean? And then I didn't think of writing a book. I felt like I can't write a book. I'm not smart in grammar. I'm not smart with big vocabularies. Like, my story's not that important. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of self-doubt. And then I started being around entrepreneurs like The Truth, like Blue the Poet,
Truth,
like
man.
Black Chakra, that wrote books.
Black.
So it was like, y'all wrote this book, and they so down to earth, and it didn't have to have these like high degrees of education. It was just like, this is my life on pages. Exactly. And I was like, oh, I'm doing that. Exactly. And people always ask, how do you write a book? You just start writing. I promise you. Just start writing, texting, putting notes in your phone. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, it was like, yo, I got 80 pages, right? When I took the 80 pages and put it in Word document, and put it into a book, it came up to 124. I was like, oh, I got this. I'm good. I'm an author now. You know what I mean? It was dope. It was dope. And then it was like, yo, I got a book. What do I do next? And it was like, well, you've been talking about your life the whole time. It's a testimony. And I was like, oh, you're right. So I take my book everywhere I go. Right. Like, as soon as I start talking, do a poem. Let's talk about this book first. You know what I mean? So it's just really me on pages. And it's more, my mission is not for you to know more about me. That's what I got a mouth for. My mission in this book is for you to know more about yourself. And so when you finish reading it, you're looking at yourself. You're not looking at just another author. You're looking at an author that care about you. So that's how I just broke out with it for real.
So how long you been writing this particular book?
Last year.
Okay.
It took me one whole year.
Okay.
January of 2018, I was like, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna start. Not chill. And after in October, I started writing it because after I came out of deep depression. I actually admit myself. I was just like, I can't. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Who do you talk to somebody when you're a life coach? You know what I mean? Like, who do you? And I definitely tried a therapy thing. Didn't work for me. It was just like a lot. And I was like, you know what? Bump this. I'm going back to the old stage and just writing my feelings out. And I just started pouring out all these things that I went through when I was a kid. And I was like, yo, I didn't even know I felt this emotional.
That was your self-conscious.
Yeah, real talk. My unconscious becoming conscious for real.
Yo.
So I started writing 2018 and I brung it out this year. And I was like, yeah, I think the world needs to know where I come from and why I do it. So, yeah.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Is the first book that you ever wrote.
Yeah, I got a disclaimer. I got another book coming out.
I'm about to say, that was the follow up.
I do. So people are requesting audio. Okay. I'm trying to bring books back to life. Like, read the book. Read the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, read the book.
But I'm doing an audio, so that's like a little extra for this. But I got a new book out that's coming out.
Any title or Can we get a little something in there?
So
Exclusive.
It's called The Intruder.
Ooh, like the movie?
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. But the subtitle is "There's a Stranger in My Thoughts," and it's gonna be talking about. It's funny because I already started the thing. The first page says how to deal with your fucking emotions. That's how the page starts. Okay. Because I feel like with emotions, like I said, people play a lot of hats. So 1 minute you're one way, you're smiling. Next minute you take the smile off, and you're like, who do I? You just feel alone in your head. And a lot of black people specifically feel alone in their mind, and they feel like, yo, it's just me against the world. Like, I really can't talk about this, or I try to talk about this, and I'm not getting the satisfaction I need. So I actually got some good stuff to talk about. I'm gonna be real raw and raunchy in the book. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm putting my poem.
Can't wait.
I'm putting my poem in there. I survive. Putting my poem in there, so
Okay.
I'm excited about that.
You got like any like particular date or month you trying to?
Oh yeah,
drop
oh
it?
yeah, oh yeah. It's gonna be July 22nd of 2020.
Okay.
I'm serious about mine. I'm serious about mine. It's
Let's
happening.
go.
Yeah.
So have you thought about doing like a book tour or anything
Yeah.
like that?
I really want to do
Especially
it
you just
different.
dropped this.
You know what I mean? When I did
Another
this,
one,
I did have my book release or whatever. It was something, slight because
Okay.
I already was putting this out in everybody's faces at open mics, like, here, take this.
Yeah.
So or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to do book tour, but I want to go to Brooklyn with it.
Okay.
Because I did a lot.
Brooklyn.
I'm doing a lot in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm getting a lot of love.
Yes.
And people from Brooklyn are like, you're doing a lot of great things in Maryland, like supporting me. And I'm like, I gotta go back to my home city, man. Like, I can't talk about doing something. You know, people want to leave to do better. I gotta go back home. I gotta go back home and fix some things out. So me and my cousins are gonna be doing something there, and we definitely gonna be bringing a new book in there.
Yo,
so I'm
keep
low
me
key.
updated.
I'm always doing
Keep
something. I'm
me
always doing something.
Updated.
Of
I would
course,
definitely
of
catch
course.
her. She's from Brooklyn too, my best friend. So I would definitely slide through.
That's
spend
what's
the
up.
night, come
That's
to the book.
what's up. Oh yeah, because I can show you all the places. Yeah, definitely.
Straight
Yo.
up. So do you have any like inspiration of your own, maybe authors that you look up to that you want to like inspire to be, or
The quote that I created was a quote that we talked about today. Actually,
Okay.
when you seeing a half a glass being filled, it's not half empty or half full. It's both. That's my quote, and it makes people want to ponder. I want people to have their own perception when I say that. So that's how I feel. Open your minds. I'll give you a new vision. Like definitely just don't think you don't need one without the other. You do. You don't understand love if you don't experience pain. You don't understand success if you don't experience failure. So you really need. So that's definitely my two things. But of course, I love Will Smith. I love Jada. I love Steve Harvey. Shout out to his book Jump. Like that's what caused me to jump. Like I read the book and it was like I was working. I was like, yo, I'm just gonna go hard for it. And I took that jump of a leap of faith. And this is where I'm at.
Yeah,
so full time
that's
baby.
That's the scariest feeling.
It's so
but
scary. Until you do it, you're like,
Exactly. I get in the water.
A little bit, little something.
You gotta warm up to it.
Wet my feet.
Yeah, exactly. But you gotta take that risk. You gotta get that reward because it's gonna be so much worth it because it's gonna be yours.
Yeah.
And no one can take it from you and take it away from you. So that's
and love the naysayers. Love them. Love the naysayers. Or people that's like, you tripping? Why are you doing that? You need bills. You gonna be homeless. So what? Because all those things I could obtain. I could attain those things again, but I can't attain if I die knowing I ain't never tried.
Exactly.
So
So talk about how did you and Truth link up and
yo
get into that collaboration? Because I seen you on both of her productions. Shout out to Truth again.
Shout out to the Truth, the poet, baby.
Yeah.
Yo.
So go ahead.
All right, so when I first saw her, it was at Nova's Grade open mic, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like to dance. I'm a dancer, right? So I'm dancing, getting it up, whatever. I see somebody else dance. I'm like, who this person? Mm-hmm. And I thought she was just a person like to dance. And they was like, that's true. I'm like, all right, cool. Until I heard her speak, I was like, oh my God, her voice would make you like first pay attention. All right, you don't want to miss nothing. You don't want to blank. You don't want to breathe.
Right.
You just watch.
Facts,
and then she states all facts, all the things that's like in your face. That's like you're afraid to talk about, or you have in the back of the mind, but you too afraid to talk about it. And she just go with it. And then I started being around her more. Like, all right, what you up to? I love energy like that. Yeah. And then I saw that she was good people. She introduced me to everybody. That's when I started meeting with Keish. I started meeting EJ. Shout out to EJ.
I had her on a few weeks ago. Shout out to EJ,
love her. She just introduced me to so many dope people. Before I met her, I was with Love the Poet and everybody else. And then I met Truth. And it was like, oh, got to expand to like all these other artists. And then she was like, let's do Baltimore's best. And it's not the best of Baltimore, is who put their best foot forward. And when she said that, I was like, all right, because, I'm not really from Baltimore. She was like, but you put your best foot forward. Those are people I need. I was like, I bet, I'm with you. Right. And then she told me about the Baltimore's best, and it was just like, oh, I'm doing all of this.
Right.
And her mind, like she's really a director, like a creator, like a number one innovator, like I'm not even trying to hype it up. It's like when she put her mind to something, she does not stop. She's like, I'm doing this all or nothing. Like I'm going hard, and I need people to have that energy around me. Yeah. It was times this one we just had was like tough because we was all busy and we was going through a lot of obstacles in life personally. And I love it because she always center us. She always go, all right, everybody. She feels the energy. Let's have a group. Let's talk about this. And we start with a prayer, end with a prayer, start with talking good things and end with talking about good things. And she just makes sure she resets everybody energy so everybody can go hard. It makes us family. It makes us family. So shout out to True for real. I told her, I was like, she's the one that pushed me to do this. Wow. I told her I want to do a book. Wow. She was like, do it. I was like, huh. She was like, what you afraid of? And she be in your face like that friend that make you accountable. Like, you should have never told me. Because now make sure you do it. I'm like, all right. She be like, what you done with the book? You done with the book? You done with the book? Yeah. So I was like, all right, bet. So, you know, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have had this book out. If it wasn't for her, I wanted to saw that I can actually act and do other stuff. You know what I mean? I would have been like, that's for them. I can just dance and maybe talk to people.
Yeah, how long you been dancing?
Since the age of 5.
You love dancing.
Yo.
Dance.
People used to ask me, like, what kind of dancer are you? Are you hip-hop? Are you? And I'm going to go freelance dancer. I do not study my routines.
Okay.
I don't. I know it's crazy. The only time I do it if I'm like in Truth Production or something like that, then you gotta remember it, right? But like, if someone be like, I want to feature you on my dance, this is a secret of mine. I don't study nothing. I tell you to play the music and I go off.
Hey,
I can't. I like to feel the vibrations. Music to me is a different language. It was my scapegoat going through growing up in a violent home. So when you put the music on, I just go off. There's no premeditated. Let's try this routine before I go and perform. Nah, it's like, let's see.
Nobody taught you how to dance. You just.
Nah, nobody taught me. Growing up in the hood, you had like Farragut Day and Fort Greene Day, and you know the hood got a day where everybody come out and eat and. Nah, I mean, I see on TV. I'm like, oh, that's how you crunk. Yeah. And then I do some crazy stuff. Like, when I learned the Baltimore two-steps, I would mix Brooklyn, because Brooklyn has a similar thing to it, and I would mix it, and then do the balls. Make me looking at me like, I'm not from here. Yeah, I'm not, but I love your moves, so we gonna rock with it. We gonna rock with it.
They say I be trying to be Baltimore, but I'm still PG. Okay? I just know I beat my feet real good.
We just show. Oh, you do?
Mix it up.
Yo, you gotta show.
Battle, shorty.
Oh,
nah,
you gotta show me.
We go battle. No, but any other events that you coming up? I know you said you got another book coming up, but this events that you're performing or doing another like poetry
I have
dance?
A whole lot. So we're gonna state the 3 first. Okay. So every other Thursday, me and my daughter Carmen, she goes by Carmen.
Yes,
the Great.
Carmen.
You can follow her on Instagram, Carmen the Great.
Okay.
She we had created this book club called Dear Black Child. We are bringing books back to life. A lot of kids are into technology and they're not into books because they get bored because their parents don't push it and make it fun. Yep. They just, do it. It doesn't work. Yeah. The kids nowadays are so smart. You just have to keep evolving and trying something new with them. So every other Thursday at 1048 Brantley Ave, there's one coming up September 5th. We're doing reading a book and creating a fortune tellers. You know the fortune tellers that you be like,
you crack open?
Pick a color. Nah, the one you make. With paper, you pick a color, you flip it over, pick a number, flip it over. So kids like to do that. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about some things, but I'm gonna tie it with your conscious mind with that. Just a sneak.
That sounds like a
you know what I mean?
situation.
The kids don't know that, but it's gonna be just fun. But yeah, we're gonna read a book. We give out books. We give out treats. They eat, drink for free. Like, just come and vibe. Last time was a full pack house. It was dope. We did vision boards. So every other Thursday. So September 5th is the next one. Okay. It starts at 6:30 for my parents. Next one after that is September 8th. And September 8th is surrounded by no stress. So because, like I told you, October, November, December is where it gets tough for a lot of people, especially in the black community. I created a platform where people can come in. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, purple, whatever. Just come through. If you're going through some stress issues, you want to be pampered, we pamper you. We're going to massage you, feed you, give you something to drink. You're going to see performances by Woo Woo, the comedian, by Katira Love, the singer. Yeah. It's a lot. By Chase Ultras. He's dope. He hang out with Icon. Like, it's going to be a lot of local artists that's coming through, that's going to perform, that's going to talk about what they do with stress, so you can know that it's local in your community, and that we all going to get together, and it's free. Just come through. All my events are free.
Right.
So that's September 8th, same place, 1048 Brantley Ave, 21217. That's where I put all my stuff at. Last but not least, September 22nd. So every month, every third Sundays, I do, because I'm a wellness consultant, I hold wellness sessions through creative arts. That's how I do it. So I Survive is presenting you a session called Self-Expression. So we're going to talk about how to tie parents and kids together, because parents are sometimes parenting the kid, right? But kids can actually parent the parent. And I say that because they need to teach them that not every kid's the same. You don't have to yell at a kid to get their attention. No. You don't have to always spank a child to get their attention. That there's kids that have feelings that's going to depression. There's kids at the age of 7 that's killing themselves. You know, so we need to talk about how they express, and that they might feel different with what you think they should be thinking or feeling. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have some games. My daughter's going to be talking about that. She taught me how she expressed herself. I thought she liked to dance. She don't. She liked to paint. And she started her business with painting. So I had to learn that my daughter was different for how I grew up. So that's dope. September 22nd is called Self-Expression. It's free for parents and caretakers. Anybody that you take care of a child, if it's a niece, nephew, you know, little cousin, whatever, son, daughter, bring them.
Yeah, it takes a village, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. And everything is at 1048.
All those events, I'll put them on my page as well.
But
definitely support that.
You can follow me just because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Go ahead. Yeah.
My business is EYE_survived_ with a D, because you done it already. You don't got to keep surviving. EYE_survived_ and my personal, where I do everything, is new_vision4.
Yeah, I seen some clothing
vision
that you
4.
had too, that for your I Survive, and some buttons that you had on your
page. Man, I got some buttons. I got some I Survive, because you need reminders to know that you're a survivor. You're not a victim. You know, I do have these positively bracelets. Okay. I gave them out at this lounge called Noir, Noir. Okay. It's a lounge in Baltimore. It means black in French. It's dope. They every Wednesday, every Wednesday is free to come through. Open mic, and they talk about if you have a business, you come through and shout yourself out there. It's dope. But yeah, so I gave out these positivity bracelets where it's just positive quotes, so you can know to remind yourself, like, yo, I'm a warrior, I'm a survivor, I'm not a victim, and I'm gonna get over everything that life throw at me. So that's what I try to do. Just anything that's gonna focus, anything that's surrounding mental, emotional, physical, you know, because we go through things like that, and we need solutions, and I got them.
Yeah, yo. Can you do like a special poem real quick for the people?
Oh,
before we about to get out of here.
All right, so I talk about something deep. So
gave your Instagram out.
Let's go.
I just gotta do a little spotlight real quick.
All right, so I got one.
Come to the stage now.
Come to the stage. I got one. This one's called I Survived. You know what I mean? Let's listen. Get the book.
All right, go ahead.
I survived every time I've died. Every time I lost myself in front of empty eyes. I even survived through the lies. In the hands where my body lies. Tracing the line of my outline. Telling me everything will be alright if I just stood quiet. See, I was only 5 when I realized being young won't stop the beast from having fun. I survived stepping on shattered glass. Broken of me. Being scary underneath, it caused my conscience to reminisce on my past. And as I stepped, each pain came too painful to see until I realized pain is just happiness that bled streaks of broken peace. I survived having broken peace, tainted memories of drowning souls at sea, gulping salty waters while people at bay watching as they sip on their fancy drinks. I survived many of my dreams, being strapped to the demon's back as he sings, killing you softly. As I sink to the bottom of myself, I watch how the demons took me to hell, cut off my legs so I couldn't run, so I realized I tried to crawl out and realized they burnt off my nails. Have you ever woke up screaming from a nightmare and no one was there to help? I survived having no help. My heartbeat was drumming so loudly, I literally tried to cut my inner child out so she could run from myself. I survived peering through the crack of the door, seeing my mom's heat up the spoon while the crack was on the floor. I survived hearing my neighbors have sex, breaking the bed in. I was only 7, and my mind understood the meaning of giving head, and yet getting caught by listening made them vex, instead asking how much more innocence did I have left. I survived the pressure and stress, throwing back pain pills like it was the last day left. And when life went left, I never went too left. I may have stopped on red or approached slowly to death, but somehow I never went too far where I gave up my last breath. I survived every test, every blow to the face. From the coldness in this world, life would slap me just to ask me, how does the wind taste? I survived every test, every threat, every thieves. I survived every fairy tales because they were created to be make-believe. I became an expertise at living in a make-believe. I made myself believe that at 6, I was at home crying in front of an empty fridge because I didn't have anything to eat. I survived like the potholes in these streets. I survived by taking out every knee that tried to step on me. See, my survival was just that. It wasn't always peachy clean. I survived because I had to, not because it was luxury for me. And still, people see my eyes but don't really see she. Don't see the 9-year-old, again, that's trying to cover up the 9-year-old me. I don't understand when I survive. People don't see that what I'm going through. Putting in my mental, what I'm supposed to do. Sit back and not do nothing. I survive because I'm a woman. See, I survive, and so have you. Tell me, what is the purpose of me picking this type of poem to say in front of you? What is life that put you through so much shit that haven't killed you? What is pain when I lived it for you? I still feel your agony when I say these words. What is blessing to those who felt cursed? Easy answer. It could have been worse. You survive your thoughts. You survive every battle you fought. You survive feeling alone. You survive all the chaos in your dome. You survive being addicted to sex, money, and drugs. You survive the knives and every hugs. You survive every damn thing life trying to throw your way. You are a survivor today because you survived yesterday. So, Lady Murder, you about to repeat after me, all right?
All right, go ahead. Right.
I survive.
I survive.
All right. You ain't gonna make me say it alone.
No, go ahead. I'm ready.
I survive.
I survive.
I'm trying to spread this across home. I survive.
I survive.
Keep saying it till something breaks through. I survive.
I survive.
I'm only surviving because of you.
Ah!
I survive.
I survive.
I don't gotta know your life.
True.
I survive.
I survive.
I just want you to be all right. I survive.
I survive.
Indeed you have. I survive.
I survive.
From one heart to another, I'm so glad to call you a survivor. Gang.
Gang on the gang, yo! Snap, clap. Yo,
Thank you.
Thank you, Diana,
Thank you.
for coming on
Thank
in
you.
the house.
Thank you.
Spreading your wisdom and
Thank
your
you.
just thoughts, just everything, your words of inspiration.
Thank you, love.
You are just a beautiful
Thank
spirit.
you. I appreciate
and soul.
you. Thank you.
Yo, seriously, please keep me in the know.
Almost
I'm
have to be
trying
family now.
Sound like how
That's
you
it.
flow.
Okay, poet.
You know, don't sleep. All right, so thank you for tuning in. Make sure y'all come through tonight. Euphoria, 1301
What time?
Street. Yo, it's about to, doors open at 8 o'clock. It's free before 9, though.
Okay.
But I'm going to slide through, like, around 9:30, 10.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Come through. All right, yo, thank you again. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Radio on
Shout out
Fire.
to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're doing your thing.
Thank you. Make sure you tune in every week on Thursday, 6 p.m. live to your girl, Lady Murphy's house.
It's lit.
Ow. Peace. Use your conscious mind to think.